Hey, hey, hey,
Hey Mo, how's it
hey,
going?
and it's going wonderfully. How's it going for you?
Just fabulous.
Yeah.
The fakeness.
Because
I don't know why we do that. Why do we do that?
you like to say it on the
Why
habit?
do we do? Probably.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just saw some news that some cop fell off an overpass up in Seattle somewhere.
Damn.
In the motorcade for the vice president. It was like a
How?
60-foot drop. A motorcycle cop. So
Like the first
there's
person?
that. I don't know, but you're like a motorcycle falling 50
Yeah.
or
I
60
don't have
feet. Like in a
anything.
car, that's
Yeah.
one thing. But yeah, but he's supposed to be okay. So
Oh,
yeah.
good, good, good. So he's not paralyzed or anything like that. What a
I mean,
blessing.
I don't know, but he's talking. So
Okay. That's good.
he's still with us.
Okay. Well, that's a fun story. Hopefully he'll write a book.
Did you say a fun story?
For
I probably
my
like
future
I don't
self,
know.
you know?
It's just something I saw before we got on here, so I just thought I'd
Yeah.
share with you. So what's new? What's going on? How you do?
So for those of you who don't know, I lost my kitty cat, Pantera. I should have done a montage for him. I'll do it next time.
Little Pan
He
Pan.
passed away. And but on the good note, I met my family, my birth family, for the first time. Well, a lot of members of my birth family for the first time. I had my birth mother's father, so my grandfather's family reunion. And
Mm.
then I just the it was in Ohio, so then I got to oops, sorry. I got to meet my other family members, like from her mom's side. So it was nice, and I got to see my
It
nephew and
looks
my
fun.
cousin, my auntie. Yeah, I felt like that was unfortunate timing, but couldn't have happened at a better time.
Mm. I don't even know. Oof. Something went weird with the. We're still working out kinks. The kinks. But it got all at that part. But it
Oh
looked
no.
beautiful. It did. It looked like a really nice time. It looked really beautiful. Just the
Uh,
location and the pictures and
thanks,
stuff.
Boo.
It looked really pretty.
Yeah, it was. They got it together. I was like, "Okay, they know how to do logistics, I'll take it." Now everything
Yeah,
everybody
because family
everything
reunions be a mess.
they were pretty much besides starting late, everything else was on point. I was like, "I get it from my family, hey." Like, if something started at 1, nobody would get there until 4. If something
Well,
started at
you know,
11.
you know, you
How I
know.
know? I mean, I thought coming 2.5 hours late was, like, a good I was like, "Imma come 2.5 hours late." I was there for an hour putting stuff together.
Oh my goodness. Pitching in, doing family work.
Doing that early birth.
That's how I do it because my anxiety's got me like I want to be there early so that I'm
Mhm.
there and people come in and then I could be like, oh hi, I could greet them instead of having to go into like established groups. I can't do that, so I'd rather be there first.
Oh, you would
You
be a
know what I
fun
mean?
greeter. See, I don't like it. I don't feel safe. I feel like I'm standing on my own in a room of people
But you're
coming to
standing on your own, anyways. When you walk in alone, so I'd rather be the one there and they're walking in than to me walk into a room of established conversation and have to break in somehow. That makes me
yeah, I
uncomfortable.
don't yeah, they both make me uncomfortable. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
generally
yeah,
living a life of
pretty much.
being uncomfortable, but yeah, it's
Discomfort, a life of discomfort.
right? Because it's like when I walk in the room, it's like people are doing their conversation. Nobody's looking at me. Nobody's focused on me. Like if you're standing at the door or something, everybody who's coming in is passing. You. No, I ain't gonna talk to you. Bye. You know, I do it if I have a task, like it's volunteering and stuff, selling Girl Scout cookies.
Selling Girl Scout cookies.
Girl, you okay?
What?
They do that
Are
outside,
you?
outside
Well,
of the grocery store. We live in a
I don't.
world, girl.
I haven't seen that in a minute. I used to stand outside the Thrifties. Anyways,
Oh,
what are we talking about? What is we talking about? Cookies were $2.75 a box
now what are they?
when
six
little Emily
dollars or
sold
something?
them. Yes. And the boxes got there's less and less cookies in there. It'd be like 8 Samoas. Like how?
Mm-mm-mm.
Terrible. But I still buy
Mm-mm.
them.
Same. I'm gonna buy them forever, especially since they have vegan options.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna buy them.
Mm, I can't help myself. So, we ready to talk about some stuff?
I'm ready whenever you are.
This is the vibe is weird. This is weird. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
what I feel too. I'm
weird.
like, what is this vibe? Why are you not talking?
Oh, so awkward. I feel like I've been talking since this thing started. What are you talking about? Anyway, so the topic for tonight or whatever. I put podcasts on while I take a shower. It's a kind of multitask or whatever. And I
Mhm.
put on like there's a TED Radio Hour. It's like a podcast. I mean, there's all these TED Talk podcasts, whatever. And so one was called The Future Self, and I was like, okay, let's put that on. And I found it really interesting. I sent you a little bit of it. I listened to a little, and it just got me thinking because it's about how we connect today, like our present selves with our future selves, and why we find it difficult, if we do find it difficult, to sacrifice and make changes today that are going to benefit our future self.
Mhm.
And so it was based in like all this, like, scientific empirical studies. They did MRIs, they had like a sample group. I mean, it was like legit.
Mhm.
And people, when they thought about their present day selves and talked about themselves, a certain part of their brain lit up. And then when they were asked to envision their future self 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, the part of their brain that lights up when they talk about strangers or people they have no connection with, celebrities even or something, lit up.
Mhm.
So it's as if we don't see ourselves in our future selves. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah, that makes sense to
there
me.
might as well be a stranger. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's why, because we
It
don't,
is a
I mean,
shame.
if someone we didn't care about though, was like, or just like an acquaintance, hey, help me move. You could find a
Mhm.
reason to be like, nah, I can't help you move today because whatever. But you would do
Mhm.
it for someone you cared about. And it
Mhm.
showed that we don't actually care about our future selves because we
Yeah,
can't connect or identify with them. So then
yeah.
how can we
I
be
mean, it
expected to
might
make smart
exist.
decisions today?
Yeah, exactly.
This vibe is throwing me off. This is just so weird.
Oh, girl, you okay? I don't know what's so weird.
It just
You
feels weird. I don't
can say
know. I
it
mean, because
before saying it now.
no, well,
Okay.
but I think it's odd. I mean, the concept of it was odd to me.
Mhm.
That we, or sad maybe, that we don't feel connected to ourselves or the future self. I mean, in any
Isn't that
way.
a good thing? Isn't that the Buddhist thing, the Eckhart Tolle thing, to be in the present moment? So why
Yeah,
focus on
and
the
I think
future? Because
there,
if you
and
love
that was
yourself
kind of one of the
today,
questions I had. Yeah.
if you love yourself today, hey, Adrielle, welcome.
Hey.
If you're going to just naturally, and all that you can do, because some things aren't within our control, you're going to just naturally do the things that will get you to that place because you have a love for your present self and you connect with your present self. You're in the present. I think that's like from what I keep hearing is from people, that's like the present is where we need to be. Not
Right.
thinking about
I think
the
that's the
past, not
goal.
focusing on the
That's what we're
future.
taught.
Yeah.
That's what we're working on now, is like to be present in every moment, to be here. But then there's
Mhm.
also the other train of thought that's like, hey, in your 20s or 30s, you got to set aside for your retirement. You got to do this, this, this. You got to do like things you're
It's
supposed to do
brainwash.
to wash your face, don't sleep in makeup,
Mhm.
take these vitamins, do these things, freeze your eggs, whatever people are saying to do for your future self that
Yeah.
would require some sacrifice today. So it's like,
Yeah.
do we live in the moment? Do we take those crazy trips instead of putting that money aside for a rainy day?
I do.
Or do we say YOLO and just do us? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
I feel like it
I feel like
varies.
there's
So, for instance, like, you have kids and stuff, you can't YOLO. Like, for me, I can be like, YOLO, what do I have to save for? What do I have to do anything for? I'm living in
but
the
why can't
moment,
I YOLO?
because then you got people depending on you, man. They be like,
No, but that's exactly the point of this study though, is I have a connection, emotional and empathetic connection to another human being, right? And we don't
mhm,
have those emotional and empathetic connections to our future selves. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they made an example about like I don't know if it's Sally Struthers or whoever it is that's like, oh, 99 cents a day for this kid in Africa or whatever. There's a reason they give
Oh
you,
yeah, I remember that.
or the ASPCA, there's a reason they make you feel. They give you those videos where you're like, oh, they need to get you to buy in order to let go of some of your cash, because we're not just going to give money away for free. So our future selves, there's no buy-in to that person. So we're not giving of ourselves, our comfort today for that person because we don't buy into them. We can't even envision who the hell they are. Don't you know what I mean? So
Some
like for
people
my
do, like,
kids, you say, I have kids. Yeah, because I'm,
but you see
connected
their
to them in
future
some way.
selves. Yeah, exactly. So through them, you are living in the future, through their future.
I can't hear you at all. This is so sad to me.
Hello?
Yeah, now I got you. I don't know what's going on. Technology.
Is your headphones charged?
Yeah, everything is fine. It's just
Yeah.
computerized.
Computer. Have to make that a
The
thing.
logistics of getting two people to stream is like,
Yeah. I think it's gotta be a call-in. We'll try it next time. Call-in show. Ba-dum-bum.
yeah, I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I was like, that's an interesting podcast. And to be able to see them study it and put science to it, because I mean, these are ideas you can think about, but to actually respond in a way is kind of cool.
Mhm.
I don't know. But I guess it says something about, I guess you were saying earlier, it's maybe about your relationship with your present day self. Because if you're doing things that are good for you today, it will have positive impacts for later.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. So then maybe I just don't care as I eat brownies and
That's
lay
my
on my
thing.
butt.
It's
You
your
know
fault.
what I mean?
Your brownies, man. Oh my god, I was like,
Were they good?
They are the bomb. Oh my gosh, because
Really?
vegan brownies be dry, and those were not dry at all.
Well, do they use beans? All right, they use garbanzo
I
beans,
didn't
right? Isn't
even
that like,
look.
I feel
Is
like
that what they use?
brownies. I think so, for brownies. I've seen some recipes where
Mhm.
they use garbanzo beans. And I was like, I'll try that.
Okay.
Them chickpeas.
Mm.
I don't know. But I feel like, I don't know. In the episode or whatever, they were talking about how some people do have a connection with their future selves and they don't see it as a sacrifice because they're paying themselves, or they're,
Mhm.
paying it forward to themselves, doing things for themselves. Whereas I don't know. I don't think I've ever really thought of my future self and been like, oh, I'm gonna save money for myself. And like, I never really,
Yeah. I see
I
my
was just
like,
living.
I'm living, but I'm seeing future presence. I don't know how to describe it. So, like, yes, I'm gonna take that trip, but then in my mind, I'm
Mhm.
not thinking about, like, potential things that won't let me be the person I am today. So, like, I always figure out a way, but what if there comes a time where I don't figure out a way or something? I can't figure out a
Mhm.
way because of aging or because of something else.
Do you feel like that's always happened? I feel like, and I don't know if it's just a matter of luck or if it's a resilience, which is like, kind of makes me feel weird talking about it that way. But like, I feel like things always find a way of working out somehow,
Amen.
right?
Some way,
And
somehow. Won't he do it? Yes.
I don't know that that's the case for everybody, and I don't know
Mhm.
why that's the case for some. So, I don't know.
What do they call
There for the grace of God, something, some
it?
saying. I don't know. But I mean, I know it doesn't work that way for everybody, but I feel like, and I don't know if that's a personality trait or if that's a
Chance?
circumstances, just luck. Yeah, like I
Mhm.
don't know, or if it's a mindset, because I do feel like there is some bit of mindset in things, like, because circumstances change, you may be dealt shitty cards, da da da
Mhm.
da, but what do you do with them? How you handle pressure,
Yeah.
because people handle that differently.
Mhm.
So I mean, I don't know.
And I think about it, I feel like it's all level of control too, different levels of control, because it's like, how much control do you feel like you have over your future self? Maybe for me, I feel like it's chance, so why should I do today? Whatever that saying is,
do
put
without or
off
whatever
today
for
what I
tomorrow or
can do
something.
tomorrow. Yeah. And it's like tomorrow is not a guarantee. Today
It's not.
is, as long as it is, because today might even not even be a full guarantee. But as long as it is, it is. You know what I mean? So
So
as
then
long
in
as I'm
that
here,
in
I'm here. As
so we just say F it for tomorrow. I mean, none of this stuff matters in the long run because I feel like nobody's living their life like, oh well, tomorrow may never come, so I'm gonna do. I mean, people are just waking up and doing life. You know what I mean? Like I don't
yeah.
feel like there's an overarching philosophy that's like guiding
Yeah, it's not
whether or
like
not I'm gonna
last
put X
holiday.
amount of my. Yeah, like, but there is a feeling, and maybe it's programming or whatever, but like I need to. I think my headphone's doing something. I need to be prepared to do stuff for the future. That's why they have like IRAs and or yeah, IRAs and 401ks and things like that, or you put savings aside, you do things like that. But then it's like, what's the point? You put that money in your account, and then what? What if you never use it?
Yeah, what if you get scammed or something like a lot of people? It's for the banks, I guess. But what I was thinking about was these, 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds are looking good. They are out there in these streets. They are twerking on TikTok. Like,
Not twerking.
yes, girl, they are twerking. So it's kind of like seeing that stuff. I think when I was younger, I just couldn't fathom a future. Most people didn't live past 40 or 50, 60 if they're lucky.
40 or 50
Yes.
when we were young.
Yeah, I'm talking about my family. And so,
Man,
yeah, so it's like all these
that
young
is so
people.
young.
Yeah, first my cousins, just getting shot in the streets and things like that.
Oh
One of them
God.
got killed in Iraq. Like, and it's like
Oh,
your
we were in a war. Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Military. Yeah.
circumstances in life and then, accidents, people just passing away, poor life choices, all
Hmm.
kinds of stuff.
Health. Yeah.
Health, yeah. So I don't think I knew anyone who really made it past 70 except like the older, like the way older generations, like born in the late 1800s, early 1900s. But other than that,
You just did what my daughter does. I'm so
what?
mad at you.
What?
Mommy, you were born in the 1900s, right? It sounds different. It sounds
What?
so wrong. Born in the 1800s and the early 1900s.
We were born in the late 1900s. Yes.
I know. Oh, that sounds old.
Right. It is,
Oh.
girl. This is the 1800s how we used to think about it in school.
Exactly. That's why I'm like,
Yes.
stop. Don't do that. Oh,
It's weird to, oh, you just, oh, that felt weird.
doesn't it? I mean, that's
Yeah.
whatever. It's so
That's our
weird. It
past
is
self. We're
because
still here. But I think I talked about it a lot when I had some things that I wanted to do, like live in New York and stuff for my future self that I did. So I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason. I think, like you said, most of us are just trying to get it through the day, make it through the
yeah,
day
yeah.
because there is possible hope for the future. So you do the things you have to do to protect it. And then I think you said something about like different types of people, like different types of people who respond to the future and who don't. 1900s.
Yeah,
It is.
you know what I was thinking though, is I was thinking that would be a good exercise. Because we're always talking about like, just maybe some self-awareness or just doing a little work to kind of dive a little deeper into who we are and like how we can
Mhm,
better ourselves. And I feel like that would be a good exercise is to envision like a visualization exercise. I can't even talk. Just to envision who you would be in 5 years or
mhm,
10 years so that you could create some kind of connection to that person. And maybe that would make you change your lifestyle decisions and your choices for today for this person that you have come to be connected to. You know what I mean? And I
mhm,
think maybe that's what people who are successful at saving money or living a healthier lifestyle for their
mhm.
future selves, maybe that's what they're able to do is to envision themselves at 50, 60, 70, and they have an emotional connection to who they are at 70,
Mhm.
because right now I'm like, I've never even thought about, I don't even, well, how old am I? I don't know who I am today. Like,
Yeah.
but I think that maybe that's a mindfulness or maybe like a meditative type exercise is to envision who your future self is. What have they
Mhm.
accomplished? What have they done? Daydreaming, I guess, about who you're going to become. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
do
know.
that anymore. I
I
used
see
to
it.
do that.
Yeah, same. I think I just got disappointed by all these daydreams. I was just like, I'd rather live in the
Or you
present.
just had to just do life. Like, you didn't
Yeah,
have time to be dreaming about it anymore. It was like, this
yeah.
is
You rarely get moments, Um,
and
but
then
yeah, I think
Netflix, you know?
also, yeah, like these people, like like a tough guy working out, is in
Oh,
finance or
okay.
something. He already has this confidence, this like self-image. It's a self-image thing too. Like, the world is mine, like the world is mine. I can just go and have whatever I want. Um, and go and get it. So like you're doing your things today, just having a knowing. You may not be envisioning, but you know tomorrow will come. You have a belief that all of these days will come. Like the people probably who went in that submersible, like they probably had that mindset. Like,
Don't get me started. They had a whole different mindset, okay? I'm sure they had a very different mindset. Who I can't Mm-mm. No. I mean, it's sad, but I can't.
I know,
They were
why am
like,
I
screw me
laughing?
up in here and throw me in the ocean. Like, I don't understand.
In
I will
some
never understand some
joystick or
people.
something? Like, what are the kids calling these
The
days?
trust, like just the blind trust. I mean, there's a lot of things I will never do in life, and I feel like it's maybe culturally or just like maybe socioeconomically related or something. But like,
Mm.
I'm not bungee jumping. You're
Nope.
not gonna catch me skydiving.
Risk.
I ain't
Mhm,
swimming with no sharks.
mhm.
Okay, and you're not gonna bolt me into some can of whatever and throw me in the ocean and then just leave it at that. Like, I don't.
That's that invincibility. That's that belief in that 70s self. No matter what I do,
Must be
I will
nice.
be there. And I think it is, and when
I
it
don't have
happens,
that.
it's a happy I was gonna say it's a happy ending, but when it happens, it's sad because you can't do all the things you were doing again maybe, or you achieve the things that you wanted to in the future, but you live this life of fearlessness, of being in the present for the future. I can't even, like I feel like just being in the present, trying to survive the day is enough. 'Cause we obviously
It
know
is.
there's a future. I feel like Adriel is always like, there's a future. Why do you go work out? Why do you do this?" Do you save? Why do you do," like, you're obviously not really thinking there's not a future. It's kind of, but it's like insurance to me, like, just in case, just in case.
But I mean, some of that stuff has benefits for today, right? Like the endorphins or the feeling good or the feeling of like being in part of a class or a community.
Mhm.
So you're doing a bar class or you're doing kickbox, whatever. Like you're with people, you get a rush, it feels nice.
Yeah, it
And it may
feels
not
good. You
necessarily
don't
be
Yeah.
for tomorrow. It's
Mhm.
just for the feeling of today.
That's
Um,
true. Yeah.
but for me, I didn't even feel good today. I'm not doing anything. Like it doesn't feel good today. It's not gonna feel good tomorrow.
Sometimes if you're not doing
Mm-mm.
something, then it feels worse than, like, doing it.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you get the endorphins and stuff, and it kinda gets you along either the end of your day, middle, or beginning. We used to go early in the morning. I like that.
Mhm.
I'd be
Yep.
pumped
I
up.
miss that.
Ooh.
I miss that. But I feel like as you age, I mean, and we talk about aging, this is kind of like what we're about here is talking about how we're changing and or whatever. But physically, as you age, I feel like there's these conditions that develop, it's just a part of aging. And it
Mhm.
makes it so much more difficult. Like I've been trying to get back on a routine to lose some weight, to feel better. Cause I feel like, yeah, being sedentary does cause things to flare up and hurt and
Mhm.
whatever. And being in motion feels good. Even though you're sore or whatever, you feel better. You don't have joint pain or whatever pains. But yeah, I'm hurting today. So like the
Get in the
knees, the hips,
get in
everything.
the pool and just, let that weight off of you, like, those kinda things. Like the older people do the synchronized swimming. I wanna do that. Like, is it discrimination? Like, I wanna do it too.
I don't know.
'Cause that takes a lot of your weight off of you, like, any kind of pressure, and I don't what you Aw, um, it takes away any kind of pressure, and it doesn't feel like you're working. Um, the kiddos, you know how it is, life with kids. But yes, Adriel, I miss our yoga and BKT days too. That was, like, such a great time, like, because we were going pretty regularly. We would go after and get a coffee and then be ready to start our day. It was something to look forward to, like you said, as community, especially with James. James was the best. Um, yeah, that was fabulous.
Children.
Right? They are adorable. You did that though. You did the thing. You said not today, get out, man.
I have a
Hi,
lot of things on
kiddo.
my mind right now. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just saying how we missed our days of going to yoga and tea.
Mm.
That's fun. And then I was starting to get into it where I would like want to go to those one-off classes. Like I started doing restorative yoga here and I'm
Mm-hmm.
moving, but it feels like I'm giving myself a massage. We did a sound
Yes, restorative
bath.
yoga is amazing.
We went to Brooklyn Museum and did a sound bath and just vegged out, like just little things like that. It kind of once you get that dopamine or whatever endorphin rush, then it's like you want more of it. So where do you get it? Just like with anything, wellness. But it's not for the future, like you said. It's more for feeling right now, like feeling good. Help me make it through
Yeah.
the day. Help me relax from the day.
Stress relief. I
Help
mean,
me
and I
take
guess
my
that is for
mind
the
off of
future.
stress. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you weren't doing it, it would just be pent up inside.
Yeah, because that's what
So
anxiety is. I forgot somebody gave a very concise, um yes, that sound bath was unreal, still haven't felt it again. It was truly out of body.
oh,
Yes. The
that sounds good.
in that hall, like, I don't know what it's called, but they have, like, all that open space and these people just all these people laying down, like, the sound bath. It was need more of that. But that was definitely for the
Mm.
present. It's like, gotta wind down. We've been out all day. Um Or just refresh, like, not for tomorrow, but for, like, I wanna still do stuff later. Shoot, for not knock out, which I did. Girl, I can't close my eyes without I'm like, I can't close my eyes without falling asleep. It's bad.
But
I'm
if your
like
body needs it, that might just be
yeah,
what it's about, like being in the moment and hey, whatever your body needs. People cry, have emotional release, or they fall
still unsafe
asleep. That
crying
yeah,
because I noticed I was crying,
yeah,
well, at the vet, and then I
yeah.
was just crying. And then I noticed, like, I tried to hide it, and I was like, "Alright," like, "What's that?" They know I it's a vet, like, emergency room, like, I'm like, "Why
Yeah.
what's the shame in crying?" It's almost like thinking that pack
I was gonna
animals,
say that. I
Yeah.
was gonna say that about shame of
Yeah.
because I have felt that since my dad's passed too, is
Mm.
a need to be in control
Mhm.
and to be the stable one and
Mm.
not to show too much emotion because that's irresponsible to show
Mhm.
too much emotion. Um, or just the shame of being succumbing too much to your emotion. There's a
Yeah.
shame there. And I wonder if that's something we can unpack later about maybe just upbringing and stuff. I mean, I
Mhm.
wonder where that
Like
comes
a
from.
weakness or
Conditioning
something.
somehow. Yeah, because it's an appropriate response to the situation.
Yeah. And I think it's honestly, for me, at least, I know it's part of that, "You can't cry, I'm gonna make you cry, give you a reason to cry, like,
Hmm.
wipe your eyes," kinda thing, like, so, not really getting a space to cry, but I
Being
still
brought
cry.
up to be tough. Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, I was
to
definitely
be
brought up to
tough.
be tough. I was brought up as
Mhm.
basically, "The world's gonna F you up, F
You
you
don't
over."
cry. Mhm.
Yeah, and you're the in the end, it's gonna be you. You can't depend on anybody, you can't trust anybody, you gotta
Mhm.
trust in yourself, that's all you got. And
Damn.
it was great for school, and that kinda thing, but in the real world, it sucked. So trying to deprogram that and learn to trust. We did our Kinder G. I don't know if you know Kinder G, but that's the Instagram dating show. And she does a thing that's called "What are your 3 flaws?" And I was doing it with my aunt, and I was like, "Yeah, my 3 flaws are not trusting people, like, definitely not trusting people, um, and not being vulnerable," which is tied to not trusting people, like, having almost a fear of
It's all
being vulnerable.
trust.
Yeah, it's all trust, and the 3rd one was what did I say? Oh, yeah, just, um, lack of empathy. Sometimes I can have a lack of empathy. And I was like, "That
Mhm.
is what it is." Hi, Chris Gilbert. Do you know your 3 flaws? Your top 3 flaws?
So how it like is that just something you came up with? Like, hey, what are your 3 flaws? Oh, let me think about it for a minute and then come up with my own, or was there like a test or a quiz or like
No, it was just
were
my
you
own,
given feedback from people? Okay, so that's just that's something to think about.
like an
3 flaws as
introspective,
relates
not
to
external.
relationships
No, just
or
3
just in
flaws
general.
about yourself. Like, some people are like, "Oh, I spend
Damn.
too much money," or "I work all the time. I don't know how to express my like, whatever things that if you're in the context of this, like, maybe those aren't the 3 flaws that I would say in a job interview, but this is for
Right, right,
dating.
right.
So what are some
But I was
flaws?
thinking job interview because I
Yeah,
remember, working in HR interviewing people and they would be, you try to make your flaws sound like a positive. Oh, like I'm
yeah,
a
that's
perfectionist,
bad. Yeah.
like, and so I wonder
But
if
they
people,
trained you to do it, and that's a certain type of person too, so they know you're a people pleaser. It's like psychological tests and stuff that are going on that aren't actual tests when you think about it, because it's like, I don't know, like, tell me where you're gonna be in 5 years. I don't live? Am I gonna be? Like, I don't know.
probably
Like,
right here doing what
right.
I'm doing
Don't
today,
say that. Don't say
you know? I mean, who could
no.
truly say? But then that kind of feeds into the idea of, visualization and
Mhm,
manifestation and thinking about it. And if you can't say, then how are you going to get there? You
mhm.
know? Uh, I
Yeah, I
don't
feel like
know.
it's ways to
And
read people and, like, their thought processes and things like that. It's interesting. And what?
oh no, I was just thinking like, well, uh, I don't know. I don't know.
Man, I had a thought and I forgot. Must have been a lie. That's what my mom would say. Must have been a lie.
Man. Yeah. I don't know.
What were we just talking about?
I don't know. I mean, I'm still thinking about this podcast. I thought it was interesting. So
Yeah, I
connecting
gotta
to your
listen to
future
it.
self. I mean, it was pretty. I don't know. It was interesting. And it's a bunch of dorks. I love dorks. I love science and information where you don't expect to find it, like when
Yeah.
people give you like empirical data and you're sitting there like, "Oh, cool, like there's actual information here, not just people shooting the shit, like this is
Yeah.
based in fact." Like, "Oh my gosh, I learned something." I think it's very
Mhm.
rare where you're like, "I learned something today."
Nah, I watch too much
And
YouTube. There's always something.
I don't watch yeah, I mean, I hear people's opinions and I feel like you learn about people, but like I learned like something about the body and like how it can
Yeah,
be
like,
applied
the
to your
informational
life.
YouTubes, yeah,
Yeah,
or,
and
like,
what
the
your brain
foods, like,
does.
documentaries and stuff. Yeah, I
I
love that
love
kind of
that.
stuff.
I love that. So this podcast stuck with me because I've been listening to all kind of stuff, like just
Mhm.
eh, politics stuff and all of that.
Oof.
But this one is a little one off that I was like, oh, let's try that.
See, that's
Um,
good. You can write it down. Now you need something to, like, chill out or, like, geek out on, and now you know you have something to go to. I wish I
yeah.
could find a podcast like that because I really get tired. I was listening to Freakonomics, which was pretty good, pretty cool. Like, I think Freakonomics is one of those kind where they're just talking about all kind of stuff you wouldn't really think about.
And
Um,
you learn something.
yeah, and you
I
learn
like
something
that. I
new. I
like
didn't
to
mean I'm
learn.
never gonna
Yeah.
use it, but I always just think in the back, I love trivia, so you never know when there's
Yeah.
trivia.
Yeah. Just random information that you've got stored
Yeah,
away somewhere. Hey, did
yeah,
you know?
mhm,
I love that. I love that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Me too. I love it.
Anyways.
Future self, future Mo, what do you have to say to Oh, yeah, we were kind you trying to, we were doing the 3 flaws, so what are your 3 flaws?
Oh, I mean, I haven't really given that much thought. I think I am very
Mm,
much a people pleaser.
mhm.
Um, to the point where I don't know if it's the same or two separate ones where it's like a very that self-sac like I will say yes to everything. Oh, you need okay,
Oh,
yeah, I'll do
yeah,
that for you. Okay. Even if
self-sacrifice.
it's not it doesn't work for me. Like that's
Mhm,
something I've been working really hard about creating boundaries of like, no, I just don't and I don't
mhm.
owe you an explanation. But I
Nope.
do that a lot. Like, oh, just okay, well, I was gonna do this, but I guess I won't. Um,
You gotta put
Another
you first.
flaw. I mean, I pick my nose a lot. Is that a flaw? I mean, I'm really disgusting like
Yeah,
that. I know. I
that's a
just
flaw.
noticed that because my kid now does it. I'm like, "Where'd you get that from?" And I was like, "You were me. You see me
Yeah.
doing it."
Dang, I gotta add
It's
that as
like
a
a
flaw. I got bad skin, though. It's like a
no, I
ear
don't even
ENT.
realize I'm doing it. It's a nervous thing,
Oh,
I think. Yeah, which is really for a grown 40-year-old woman to just be picking her nose, not absent-mindedly doing so.
picking. Yeah,
And it's not even like I'm getting to, it's just my nose is clean. I'm just in there
yeah.
doing. I don't know. Picking. Yes, picking. I don't know if that's a flaw or that's a condition. That's a
Yeah.
medical issue I
Is it
got.
just
That
you?
ain't a
It probably
flaw.
might be. That's right. It ain't a
Oh
flaw.
no. This is who I am.
You got 2 flaws. Now the third.
Oh,
Picking
from
and
the picking. Oh.
picking and people pleasing. It's got to start with the P. I'm just kidding.
I realize this about myself with the podcast, and I see it in social settings now, and I am conscious of it, but I'm having a difficult time fixing it. Is I talk over people. I get so
Me
anxious
too.
about when do I get into the conversation, like that I end up talking, and when I start talking, I just can't sleep. Like I talk over people, and I'm aware of it, and I'm trying, but I don't know how. I either won't talk or I'm talking over people. Like I can't. It's very.
I'm the same way. That's crazy, but I'm not like that. I mean, I feel like I talk over you, but I'll pause, but I'll have a good feeling of when I can talk or I'll just stop. But I notice I'm like that on Zoom calls and things. I'm always cutting people off. It's like, I'm sorry. Like, oh,
I don't know when.
what?
I don't know how. My conversation. I don't know how to talk anymore. Like I feel
Yeah,
like we talk over each other, but we're talking together. So it's like, okay,
Mhm.
we're just having a conversation. But sometimes I'll just be talking and I'll like just jump right. I think you're done talking and you're not, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But I've already started my thing, so it's.
Do you want to talk to the people?
I don't
I feel like
know.
those are more so when I don't want to talk to somebody.
I don't
It's
know
like
that I
I'm
want
just
to talk
forcing
to
myself to
anybody.
talk.
I think I just get so anxious that I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm doing. I really like I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm so self-conscious or like awkward in that setting because I'm so anxious
Yes,
about it
yes.
that I don't know how to talk. And I want to be part of the conversation. I want to be like everybody else and comfortable and sharing and all of that type of stuff. But then I forget, like, and I feel bad because it seems rude because I have questions I want to ask too to engage in the conversation. And I know you and I have talked a lot about like asking questions and making
Mhm.
conversation and showing interest. And I have questions, and sometimes I won't even ask the questions. I won't even ask the questions, and I feel like after the fact, I'm like, oh, I never asked them about how their day was going, or and
Mhm.
it's like, oh, and I feel bad, and then I just won't talk to that person ever again because I'm just like, oh, they didn't
Maybe
want to
that's
hear
part
me.
of the people pleasing piece. Hey,
Probably.
I'm calling from Pennsylvania. You're from Mid-Missouri, Chris Gilbert. Thanks for listening and welcome to the show. Let us know in the comments if you're a first-time viewer, listener of this podcast, or if you've heard of us before. What about you, Em? Where are you from?
That sounded really good. I'm on the West Coast. That's all I gotta say.
West
West Coast, the
Coast?
best coast.
Mhm.
No, I don't know. They used to say that when I was coming up, but
But
yeah, I
yeah.
don't. And that got my heart rate up. I feel it's my talking about that. I don't know.
Anxiety, yeah.
It's bad.
I hate
It's real
that, and
bad.
also are you interacting with adults a lot, like, for adults' sake?
More so
Okay,
now,
that's
but it's not for us to be I mean, we're there for the sake of our children, and we're
No, I
just kind
said
of
for
there.
adults' sake. That's why I said for
Yeah,
adults'
that's
sake.
what I'm saying. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, okay.
Like when do I have adult sake time? Like I
Yeah.
don't have it's always, based in children's things.
Yeah.
So it's other people who are similarly awkward. We're all just awkward together,
Yeah.
which is great.
That makes sense, and then it's also if you're awkward, that's a safety net because there are people who figure out a way to do adult stuff when they do what they want, It's just what feels safe, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I appreciate the outgoing people, the extroverts, the over the tops. Some people are like, "Oh, she's extra." I'm like, "No, please bring me the extra people because I feel like okay, there will never be an awkward silence or you're not looking at me to carry half the like we're just here and you're going to talk a lot and that's fine. You talk,
Yeah, and you're just like,
you know.
stream of
Yes. And I
consciousness, like
feel I'm okay. That is okay with me.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
fine. That's perfectly
it
fine.
depends on if I don't wanna talk with you, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna really physically hurt,
That
and
is
I'm not gonna
true.
and it's like I'm gonna be saying
A
stuff that I
lot.
know. Yeah, and it's like I know the answer to it, like my favorite song or something, but I just can't. I don't know if I have a favorite song, but
And
uh,
it's awkward all the way around. It's just
yeah,
awkward.
and it's like
Cuz
I
you don't
can't read
care. You don't want to do
faces.
it.
Yeah, it's like I don't wanna do it, then it's like the faces aren't looking right. And it's like, what if everybody's thinking the same thing? You know, like, no, I'm just kidding. Like the faces aren't looking right, or like I feel like I'm getting a negative reaction to a positive thought. Like, so why are you frowned up when I just said
Do you
something?
hate that? I hate that when you're saying
Yeah,
something and their face is giving something completely different from what you are
yeah.
expecting to receive. You know, I don't know. So I just and then it's like I don't know. It gives you that in itself gives you feedback, and you're like, oh, well,
Mm.
maybe this is I must look away from this conversation. It's not going right, or they're not understanding what I'm trying to say. You know, it's just
And
it's
it's
awkward.
interesting to watch because I do like to observe. So sometimes I will just get into a circle and just listen.
Just
And
there.
no, I'm just laughing, you know, I'm usually have a drink, you know, laughing and ha, like listening to the stories of that people will tell. And some of it is just full of S, but it's like, I don't know. It's just interesting because it's a lot of BS
Mm.
in networking type of things. So it depends on the circumstance. If it's a place that I don't want to be, then I just can't talk. And then I just
I just won't be there. If I have a choice in it,
get,
I just won't be
yeah.
there. If it's a place I don't want to be, I'm not there.
But I don't want to be
Just
anywhere.
a
So
no.
that's like,
It's just a no. It's
just
a
want to be in
no.
the house. Like this is it. Like we
And
even
then
if
I'm
we
the
do
goofy one
podcast,
sitting there with a big old smile on my face. I'm trying to look
look at
friendly.
me.
I don't know what my face actually looks like though. I have a feeling my face
Cute.
looks very different from what I think it looks. I think I mean I don't know. But I try to
No,
look
it's just
welcoming, like
something.
someone please talk to me,
Yeah,
you know.
welcoming.
But
No, I don't. Even when I try, it's too
you
it's
like
almost
this.
like it's almost like, I'd be like on the phone. It's
Uh
I feel
looking busy. I do that too. Like, oh, let me look busy. Oh, I'm doing something. Let me
and
put
I
an
feel
AirPod in my
bad
ear.
because yeah, somebody will be like, "Oh, I love your dress." And I'm like, "Oh, they're not talking to me good." Hey, I'm like, "Oh, thank you." You know, it's just like little stuff like that. Um, maybe being disconnected and maybe it's a fear-based kind of thing versus because I get so mad. Adrielle can tell you, I'll get in that mood and I'll walk down the street. Hi, good morning. And it's just like they don't owe
Yeah,
me
it'll
a good morning, but it just like it just seems so
return my
cruel. Like,
energy. Return
yeah.
my energy. That's it.
Like, what's gonna hurt you
You
to say
know?
good morning? And I
Mhm.
tried it a few times with these older people, and they just refuse, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm never gonna try again." And so now I just walk past, but it's just like, I don't want to. And so am I betraying myself by not continuing to just say good morning? But
I hate that. That's one thing that
yeah,
I dislike very much about myself is I will let that change my mood entirely. Like if
yeah,
ooh, I'm gonna be social. Ooh, I got stuff to say. Ooh, yeah, let's talk. I know about this. Let's talk. I'm gonna be friendly. Oh, this person's gonna be there. I haven't talked to her. Oh, and I'm psyching myself up because you gotta do that before you go somewhere. You gotta psych yourself up. You get there, and then somebody's like, or I've had this happen to me a lot where they kind of are walking towards me, like they're gonna talk to me and I go, oh hey, and then they go somewhere else. And it's like, oh, you just
yes,
kind of like looked right past me, like I wasn't there. And that just kind of I don't know why I let it happen, but it shrinks me down, like it takes that energy and just goes,
yes.
not today. No, maybe you're not, you're not gonna be great today. So
No,
get back in your phone. And I hate that because I do
I
so much
troll.
work to psych myself up. And then no, I don't. And
Yeah,
then I just
no,
go
I
and
don't
I'm
troll.
fine to just stay in the kitchen at a party and everybody's outside. I'm in the kitchen. I'll wipe your
Hey,
countertop. I mean,
broken
just literally what
traditions,
I did the
welcome.
other day. So
Uh, you know,
I'd rather
like
be home.
kinda like with I guess I just did it too with the question about the 3 flaws. We kinda got distracted and went on, and then I was like, I guess that's a good one, like, not like, that's the lack of empathy one, maybe. Is like, maybe the people don't wanna answer the question I'm asking in a social setting, so then they just ignore it, but it sounds like for me, it's like I don't catch that
Dismissive.
cue. Yeah, like, it seems it's so then I repeat it, and I just keep repeating, and that happened to me over the weekend. It was so weird. It was like, "Who am I talking to?" Like, I was like, "Where are we going?" And, like, nobody would say anything. And I'm like I would be asking questions, and I'm like, "Are y'all okay? Like, something is off." It was just very weird, and it's, like, almost like
Yeah.
I'm not being heard. And
Yeah.
a funny thing happened at the family reunion where I would say, "Hi, I'm Monique," and people be like, "Hi," and then they would tell who my birth mother is, and then they just grab me, and just, like
Uh,
because they love the grandmother I mean, the birth mother so much. It was crazy. So many people did that, like, once they found out who I was because I walked in there a stranger, when you think about it. they were strangers and I was a stranger.
That
Like
brings it back to the
right?
original thing, is the
Uh-huh.
connection. It's like you're not willing to come out of your comfort zone for something you don't have a connection or empathy for. And
Mhm.
once there is a connection or a buy-in or a point that brings you together, then you're open. And
Yes.
it's a matter of finding a way to open.
Mhm.
That is kind of, I don't know. It's I don't know, illuminating, or it just that's
Mhm.
yeah, like a light bulb just went off with you telling that story about how they had to know how they were connected to you. Otherwise, you were just
Mhm.
a stranger.
Yeah, and I
And you're
wish
not
she
just gonna
like
be hugging strangers off the street,
yeah,
you
and it's
know?
so great, like, I'm telling you, they love that woman so much, like, they grabbed
And
me,
you're a
like
part of her that's
yeah,
returned, you know? Oh, that's
yeah, that was
beautiful.
I'm gonna cry because I said, "I
I
never
kn
felt
do
that
it,
much
girl.
family." Look, remember, I'm embarrassed to cry.
Yes,
Um,
no, but
but I
that's
never
beautiful.
felt that much love from family in my whole life, and I felt it in 2
Oh, and
days,
you got loved
like,
up. That's beautiful.
people live
You
with
were
this
meant
their
to
whole
be
life,
there.
like,
Oh, I love
so
that for you.
I hope it
I
continues,
love
we'll
that.
see.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel like you're gonna be, because you were in touch with people before going there. Do you feel like you'll
Yeah,
be in touch now? Yeah,
yes,
that's
true to
awesome.
you.
Oh, I
Um,
love it.
yeah, and it's
I
kinda,
love
like,
it.
mind-blowing because it's breaking down that negative belief of being, what is it, like, not being lovable or something like that because it hasn't existed. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was great, so maybe that's some kind of future se
For no other reason but being you. That's it.
Mhm.
They probably didn't
Yeah,
need to know it. They just needed to know you belong here.
yeah,
You come from us. You are part of us, and we love you, period. That's it.
yeah,
Oh my
and it'd be
gosh.
like, "Come here, come here." It was just, like, so, like,
Yes.
uh
Yes. I love that. Oh.
hugs. "Thanks, boo." It was amazing. I'm not stupid. I know everybody has problems and everything, but it was nice to feel that. It was much needed.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you're brave for doing that. To go all the
I
way
know
out. I
that's
mean,
the thing I
that
was
probably was
saying.
overwhelming. That's a lot. I'm sure that was a lot.
But I wasn't because it was
You've
like
had
I'm trying to pause. See, look, we did it.
Oh, I was like, "Oh, you were saying something." I'm letting you yeah.
No,
Keep going.
but it's like all of for some reason, I think it was my cat dying, honestly. I was in
Yeah.
a
I was about to
state
say you
where
had an emotional yeah.
yeah, I was in a state of being vulnerable, which I find it hard to do. But it
Mhm.
was almost like my guard was down and I was able to now at first I sat me, I went all the way to the back, sat by myself in a corner. And so I was like, "So I can see people and it's right by the exit," like and then I met this lady I looked like, and we started talking to come to find out she's like my great aunt or something like that, and she saw me, she said, "Oh, I'm sitting with you." And then as the night went on, we both kinda, like,
Oh.
moved on to people no, as the Hennessy was flowing as well,
Oh,
Black
okay.
Hennessy, like, that helps you drop your guard too, but it was fun, it was a good time.
That's good. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
I love it, I love the love.
Oh, I love it.
God and family always make me happy. That's awesome. Bless. Any thoughts in the comments? What do you think about your future self in the chat? Let's see.
Oh, oh.
Let's see. And if
Oh,
anybody wants to
no.
Gilbert, do you wanna come on the live? I'm just kidding. What time is it? Oh, we're good. This is good on
Yeah,
time.
yeah, not the soundboard.
That's the
Soundboard.
soundboard?
Ooh, I don't know. I just thought the podcast was good. If you guys wanna listen to
Okay,
it, it's
listen to it.
the TED Radio Hour. It's the June 15th episode called Future You. And it talks about the science of why we can or cannot make decisions today to benefit our future selves and the psychology behind it, which was interesting to me.
Cool.
So I don't know. Just a little something to listen to.
Just a little
But I
something,
think that's
something.
a good exercise is to visualize like who you would be in 5, 10 years. And if that person is somebody that you feel connected to and If not, why? And if so, what are you doing today to, help a sister out? Like, what are you doing for her? Like,
About that in the context of relationships, like visualizing your partner and, being very specific about it, and I'm like, "I can't honestly visualize it. Life is such a chance. I don't know what that person will look like or anything. I know there are certain behaviors that I like, but honestly, if I like someone, they could have the complete opposite behaviors that I like. So,
mhm.
I can't really
It's
say.
weird
Yeah, it's
chemistry
like a
and
soul thing, yeah.
mhm.
Um, Adriel, I don't know what to think of my future self. I don't know what to think of my current self. I
Well, I heard
feel
that. I don't know about my
yeah,
current self either.
same. I felt for a long time I knew who I was and what I wanted, and now I'm not so sure. Yeah. I feel that,
I
like, I
think
know
that's
there's something. Yeah, it's
this
the
time
COVID
of life
curse.
that we're in.
Oh,
Yeah,
is the
that
age or
too.
COVID? The
I
age,
mean, I don't know that
right?
I ever knew who I was and what I wanted. I don't think
Mhm,
I ever did. Um, Especially myself without relation to somebody else. Like I was somebody's daughter. What did
mhm,
they expect from me? That's who I was. Now I'm somebody's mother and I think of what is best for them. And maybe
mhm.
that's the flaw. Like, well, what the hell is best for me? Like, who am I? What do I need? I don't know.
You're
And
selfless.
it's always, yeah, but that's, but it's in a very unhealthy way, probably. To the point
Yeah,
where you don't know who you are, what you want. Yeah,
and you have time to figure it out and
yeah,
allow
I'm
yourself.
about to.
Yeah, it might be nerve-wracking in the beginning, but once you start doing it and you get on that, routine of doing the things for you, you'll start recognizing things, and that's what happened. I'm telling this from my experience. It's like little things start hitting in your brain, like you feel little pieces of like, maybe that's the lighten up, like,
Things
little
coming
pieces of
together.
yeah, like, maybe something in the past you really enjoyed that you forgot about or a feeling you had that you didn't even know you could still feel again, and I remember saying, "I feel
Ooh,
like a
I want
child."
to catch that. Catch that
I
feeling.
was like, "I feel like a child," and that's what it was, and it's like, in that, you kind of lose inhibitions.
Oh,
It was cool. Time is short. Try to connect with all good people. Amen.
yeah. I
And
mean, I
that
guess
is true.
that's what this is all about. And
Yeah.
this time is just this self. I didn't even hear you were talking. I'm sorry. It was
Mm-mm.
frozen. But just the time for self reflection and to figure out who am I today. First of all, no idea,
Mhm.
but to figure that out, and maybe use that as a stepping stone to figuring out who my future self is and what their needs may be, um,
Mhm.
and what to do to help her out. I mean, because
Yeah.
you know,
I know, I do think about it because 'cause I'm like, I don't wanna be on a scooter. I don't wanna be one of those old ladies on a scooter rolling around Disneyland, you know?
oh, that's my mama.
Aw.
Without that burden. Yeah.
Yeah, that it yeah, it's a lot. Survival.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's part of it too, is the financial. How can you help yourself out in the future? I mean,
Mhm.
uh, and sometimes you've got needs today that prevent you from doing anything for M
Yeah,
is gonna have to take care of future M kind of thing, like
mhm.
because you're dealing with today.
That's how I think about
So
it, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and future Mo will take care of future Mo.
Yeah, but that's if you have
Like you
all
have the
your faculties.
confidence.
Yeah. Like, if you lose those
Yeah,
faculties, it's like but there's things in place right now if I do, but for how long? So
lose your faculties in 5-10 years. I hope not.
Yeah, I
I
think
really
that's another
I
flaw.
forget how old we are. So this
Yeah,
is five,
I'm
10 years. When does that
catastrophic.
start happening?
Yeah,
Ooh,
I kinda think in
catastrophic.
heroic. Yeah, catastrophic thinking. Yeah. Like, in 10 years, I'm gonna be in past but you never know, that's the thing, you don't know. So,
You
worst
don't.
case scenario not worst, but,
A possible scenario.
mhm,
Yeah.
possible. I'm back, I had to
Absolutely.
step away. Welcome back. We're about to head on out. Appreciate you joining us.
Yep.
Any
Any
final
final
thoughts?
thoughts?
Jerry.
No final thoughts. That's all check out that podcast. Hit us up on the socials if you have any ideas of topics or if you have something you want to hear about.
Have a good night, Broken Traditions. We'll catch you in the replay game. Yes, and you can find us at reclaimingourprime@gmail.com. If you want to send topics or anything, you can find us at Reclaiming Our Prime on Instagram. So thanks again for listening. Appreciate y'all and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.